Welcome back to Keep Up channel. Paul O'Grady's widower shares heartbreaking final video of star taken just 20 minutes before he died. Paul O'Grady's husband has shared a heartbreaking final video of the star taken just 20 minutes before his death. The much-loved TV icon thanked his fans for their support just 20 minutes before he died, while holding one of his beloved dogs, Eddie. Paul passed away on March 28, 2023 after suffering sudden cardiac arrhythmia, where the heart beats too slowly, too fast or irregularly, usually due to an issue with the organ's electrical impulses, at the age of 67. Now, his widower Andre Portaggio has shared a video message on the second anniversary of his death in which Paul spoke about his book Eddie Albert and the Amazing Animal Gang, after he had received an award for it. Speaking in the video posted to Instagram on Friday, Paul said, "Hello everybody, I'm Paul O'Grady and I just want to say a massive thank you for reading my book, and also for voting for it. I'm absolutely delighted with my award, so thank you very much." The former drag queen, who shot to fame as his alter ego of Lily Savage in the 1980s, was also known for his love of animals, and cuddled up with his corgi. "And by the way, this is Eddie, this is my dog. Aren't you? You're famous. And Butch in the book is based on this little one. You're being very quiet today, aren't you? Anyway, once again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Look after yourselves." In the caption of the post, Andre, who married the For the Love of Dogs star in 2017, admitted that it is sometimes hard to believe 2 years have passed since his husband died, and was remembered him as a genuinely kind man who cared about his fans. He wrote, "It's incredible how our minds can shield us from the pain of loss in moments of shock. Today, my iPhotos reminded me of a lost video I recorded of Paul just 20 minutes before he sadly passed, what became the last recording he ever made to camera. In this bittersweet moment, you see him as the genuinely kind man he was, expressing heartfelt gratitude to everyone for supporting his book, which he recorded for an award ceremony he couldn't attend. It's hard to believe it's been 2 years since his passing. All the while, he's surrounded by his beloved dogs. We miss you dearly, at Paul O'Grady. Happy heavenly birthday." Several of Paul's friends and fellow celebrities had noticed the post and took to the comments section to pay tribute. Presenter Gabby Roslin described the clip as special and precious, whilst EastEnders icon Michelle Collins felt sad at the realization of just how fragile life can be. She said, "This is unbelievable, so sad, makes you realize what a wonderful person he was. Life can be so fragile, we have to really embrace it like Paul did. Such a loss, wish there were more like him." Andre spoke out about the heartbreaking moment the comedian died in their home in an interview last year. He traveled to New Zealand in 2024 as he couldn't bear being at home for the 1-year anniversary of Paul's death. Speaking to the Mirror, Andre told how nothing was out of the ordinary that day and the comedian had been in good spirits in the morning. At one point, Paul went into the kitchen to make himself a cup of tea and Andre heard a loud bang. As the couple lived in an old, noisy house, Andre thought nothing of it at first and thought Paul had probably stepped out to the cottage nearby they were renovating. Andre said, "I walked to the kitchen to start putting some food on, and I started taking things out of the fridge. And all of a sudden, I could see him lying on the floor. I just didn't know what to think at first. He had a cut on his forehead, and I thought he was probably just unconscious. I called the ambulance and they said the best chance to keep him alive was to do CPR." Andre tried desperately to save his husband's life, saying he was exhausted by the time the ambulance arrived. The ambulance crew spent an hour trying to resuscitate Paul and at one point told Andre he was breathing. It was short-lived, however, and they pronounced him dead soon after. Recalling the heartbreaking moment, Andre said, "Somehow Paul's dog Arthur, who was one of his favorites, escaped and he nuzzled his face as he always did on Paul's shoulder, as if to say wake up. It was just heartbreaking." Last year, it was revealed that Paul's beloved 5 dogs would each receive £25,000 from his will and be looked after by his agent, with a friend saying the comedian left them a share of his £15 million fortune to ensure they get the best love and care. The popular presenter set aside £125,000 for his cherished pets Nancy, Arthur, Conchita, Eddie, and Sausage and wrote specific instructions for them. The animals are being looked after by his agent Joan Marchand, as details of his will revealed. His will showed he was also leaving £775,000 to charities close to his heart. A friend said, "This is typical of Paul, as he put his month where his mouth was by leaving cash to charities that had special meaning to him." And though £125,000 seems like a lot of money to spend on his dogs, they also meant to the world to him, and he wanted to ensure they always receive the best love and care. Paul wrote in his will, "The legacy shall mean £25,000 in respect of each animal. I direct that Joan shall take over the responsibility of each animal, to use each legacy for the upkeep and maintenance of each animal until its death." He granted £500,000 of his wealth to Battersea Dogs Home, which featured in his popular ITV program For the Love of Dogs. He also left more than £50,000 to the Salvation Army, having been a lifelong fan of the organization he featured in his 2016 TV show The Sally Army and Me with Paul O'Grady. The animal lover also gave £50,000 donations to elephant and orangutan charities. Battersea Dogs and Cats Home announced in October last year that it had named its building after O'Grady following his decade-long work with the veterinary hospital. After being left £500,000 in O'Grady's will, the charity's chief executive Peter Lorre said Battersea would forever be indebted to Paul for all that he did. He also vowed to carry on O'Grady's legacy in helping dogs and going the extra mile. The comedian gave a total of £100,000 to be divided between two foreign wildlife organizations, the Indian Wildlife Trust, called Wildlife SOS, and the Sepalak Orangutan Rehabilitation Center in Borneo. The rest of Paul's estate is expected to be divided between his widower Andre, his daughter Sharon Mousley, and his sister Sheila Rudd. The will, written in 2017, will also see 9 other recipients, including O'Grady's godchildren Milo and Otis Sainsbury. Paul's admiration for the Salvation Army came after seeing it help people in need in his native Liverpool when he was growing up. He once said in an interview, "They saved kids near my street when I was a boy with food kitchens, helped me when I was a care worker, and supported people I know over the years." The comedian also featured the charity in his show called The Sally Army and Me, where he worked as a volunteer alongside Major Joe Moyer. She said the charity was so grateful for O'Grady's donation and that his support had gone a long way over the years. She added that the gift left to the Salvation Army in his will help to change lives for good. The figure of £15.5 million left in O'Grady's will is more than double what was predicted shortly after his death last March 28 as a result of cardiac arrhythmia. He was said to have been smoking a cannabis joint when he died peacefully at his home. After his death, Battersea Dogs and Cats Home set up a tribute fund in O'Grady's name, and donations soared past £150,000 within a few weeks. The charity said back then that Paul, who was an ambassador for them, will always be associated with Battersea. In a statement, they said, "Battersea joins the nation in mourning the loss of Paul O'Grady, an entertainment legend and much-loved ambassador to our charity. We'd like to extend our deepest sympathies to Paul's family and friends." To millions, Paul O'Grady is the popular TV and radio presenter and comedian who lit up their screens with his razor-sharp humor and perpetual generosity and warmth. Battersea will forever remember Paul as a devoted animal lover with the biggest heart, who fell in love with every dog he met at our centers. Paul will always be associated with Battersea, and we are truly saddened to have lost such a true friend and huge part of our charity. Paul loved Battersea so much, and we cannot thank him enough for everything he did for our charity and for rescue animals worldwide. We will forever be indebted to him for his endless generosity and support. Source: dailymail.co.uk. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.